Thanks for joining us on this edition of National Focus. I'm Colette Ambo. Coming up, Dominica's main airport has been officially renamed. Cabinet will meet with overseas-based Dominicans on Wednesday, and tourism officials open the new cruise season in a different way. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories after this.
A lot of bathtubs are blamed for bruises. Some staircases are accused of being responsible for broken bones. Doors are occasionally viewed suspiciously as causing lesions. A high percentage of tables are accused of producing bleeding or trauma. Violence against women is a crime, and it's everyone's responsibility. It's inexcusable. If you're a victim or witness of physical or psychological violence or abuse, seek help and denounce the perpetrator.
Thanks for staying with us. Dominica's main airport was officially renamed during a ceremony at Melville Hall in honor of two deceased prime ministers. Mervyn Matthew attended Monday's ceremony and filed this report.
It's official. Dominica's main airport has been renamed.
We have chosen to rename this airport the Douglas Charles Airport.
The airport was renamed in honor of deceased former Prime Ministers Roosevelt Douglas and Pierre Charles for their heroic contributions to Dominica's development.
The two late Prime Ministers whom we are honoring today had to find creative ways of extricating our dear country from financial and economic devastation. It is to them that we owe a debt of gratitude for their contribution, not only for initiating the rehabilitation and expansion of this airport, but also on a wider scale for extricating Dominica from the fiscal pit into which it had been thrown.
Monday's renaming ceremony was attended by His Excellency President of Dominica Charles Savre and Mrs. Savre, former presidents, Speaker of the House of Assembly Honorable Alex Boyd Knight, government officials, the members of the Diplomatic Corps, and hundreds of DLP supporters. Honorable Minister for Public Works, Energy and Ports Rayburn Blackmore described the event as timely as the nation celebrates its independence.
Being independent doesn't only mean having a flag. It means more than that. It means adopting and showing a sense of ownership to what is ours. And when we name this airport after Roosevelt Douglas, and Pierre Charles, we are developing a sense of pride. That is Dominica.
His Excellency the President of Dominica Charles Savre presented scrolls to representatives of the Douglas and the Charles family. Chief Executive Officer of Diaspora, Benoit Badwa, spoke of the contribution of the late Roosevelt Douglas.
Rosie worked tirelessly to educate the people politically, while at the same time listening to and learning from them. The result was that he gained the people's love and admiration. His selfless commitment to the struggle to transform Dominica and the Dominicans, which he led till his own demise, sets example for all future political leaders and citizens.
Rose's sister Joyce Dare says the renaming was a major honor for the Douglases family.
I would like to thank the government for this gesture, great gesture, and we are honored as a family to be associated with it.
The late Pierre Charles was recognized for his task in transforming the economy of Dominica in the throes of the worst economic recession in nearly 100 years.
Prime Minister Pierre Charles dedicated his life to the cause of Dominica's political independence, and upon becoming Prime Minister of independent Dominica, tackled the national fiscal and economic crisis of the first decade of the 20th century. Through selfless, thoughtful and persistent leadership, and for the sacrifice of his own life at the service of the nation, he has gained the love and admiration of the people.
The late Pierre Charles's daughter, Pfizer Charles Sylvester, spoke on behalf of the Charles's family.
Many did not see the vision and did not support the decisions of his cabinet. But today, we are all still afloat because of those same decisions.
Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has defended his administration's decision to rename the airport.
I am adamant that we cannot continue in this day and age to have our main airport named after an 18th century slave owner.
Like a soul, like a soldier, like a soldier, you tied with your footstep on. Let me hear you sing it. Like a soldier, you tied like a soldier, like a soldier, you tied with you. Continue singing. I want you to...
Thank you, Mervyn, for that report. As is usual for this time of year, Cabinet will again meet with Dominicans who live overseas with an aim of including them in plans for the island's development. The meeting also allows visiting overseas nationals to dialogue with members of Cabinet on matters of interest. Previous forums have focused on entrepreneurship and investment in an effort to encourage Dominicans overseas to invest in the local economy. This year, the work of non-profit charitable organizations involved in social development, health and education will be highlighted to encourage collaboration between these organizations and Dominicans living overseas. The Honorable Prime Minister, who is also Minister for Finance, Foreign Affairs and ICT, Roosevelt Skerrit, will address the forum along with the Honorable Minister for Employment, Trade, Industry and Diaspora Affairs, Dr. Colin McIntyre. This meeting, the annual Diaspora Forum, is planned for Wednesday, October 29th from 10 o'clock a.m. at the State House Conference Center. All visiting nationals are invited to attend the meeting. In other news, the 2014-2015 cruise season was officially opened in a different way on Tuesday. The Tourism Ministry, the Discover Dominica Authority and their partners put on a show that will certainly impact the most critical indicator of a growing cruise sector, guest experience. The first call of the season, a Celebrity Summit, was welcomed by conch shells and tourists disembarked to stirring Lapo Cabot rhythms. The Honorable Minister for Tourism, Ian Douglas, had this to say at the opening ceremony.
Tourism employs about 3,000 to 5,000 persons, 3,000 directly and maybe another 3,000 or 4,000 indirectly. A lot of what happens in the economy depends on tourism, and we felt that it was important for us to mark the day very significantly. We continue to do everything necessary and possible for us to continue to be a very competitive destination. But we want to implore the stakeholders that it is a combined effort both on the part of the government authorities and also the private sector, and indeed of every Dominican, to do everything that is necessary for us to continue to be one of the most sought-after destinations.
Cultural entertainment was organized for different experience at the Trafalgar Falls and the Emerald Pool throughout the day. This cruise season will see 191 calls and close to 300,000 visitors, a 3.5% increase from last season's. When various stakeholders met at the Fort Young Hotel to discuss strengthening of the health care system in the region, one of the anticipated outcomes was that the various sectors providing health care become more aware and better informed of the issues involved in providing that service. Last Wednesday, the private and public health sectors and the civil society met to exchange ideas and discuss issues relating to strengthening health systems in the region. Particular emphasis was placed on the issue of non-communicable diseases. The Caribbean Civil Society Health Systems Strengthening Meeting was conducted by the Health Caribbean Coalition, or HCC, in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization. the NCD Alliance, and the Caribbean Public Health Agency, or CARFA. Sir Trevor Hassel, president of the HCC, detailed the objectives of the meeting.
While they are to share experiences and lessons learned in the delivery of NCD, that is chronic diseases, care provided by the public health, the private health, and civil society. It's to showcase best practices in health service strengthening and NCDs. Another purpose is to identify and discuss health service strengthening barriers and challenges with regards to NCDs. We'll also be making recommendations for the way forward in addressing health service HSS barriers and building upon lessons learned and best practices. And ultimately, we plan to support a statement from civil society, a statement of commitments of civil society that they are going to be making as they seek to contribute to improving the provision of care to our people in the Caribbean.
He added that the meeting was unique since it brought together for the first time several stakeholders in one forum. Particular emphasis was placed on civil society as they are seen as an area needing strengthening in the delivery of care services. Hassel expressed that civil society fills several gaps in the delivery of healthcare and so it should be strengthened. Hassel listed the course of action which has taken the HCC to this point and the plan for the road ahead.
So it started with a publication which was NCD Regional Status Report. It was then followed by the development of a civil society-driven advocacy plan. It was next followed by today's meeting, out of which, as I have indicated before, there will be a commitment statement by civil society organizations. And then the ultimate and final end point, if you will be action taken to improve health service strengthening.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Helen Royer, also addressed the forum.
Recognizing the need for an all-society approach to NCD, the Ministry of Health has also strengthened links with both non-health sector and civil society to include increased collaboration with NGOs such as the Cancer and Diabetes Societies and providing support from time to time. The implementation of the Healthy Community concept involving all district public officers and community leaders for health is also ongoing. We have also strengthened links with faith-based organizations and with Corporate Dominica for population-wide physical activity and workplace wellness programs. I am aware that NCDs continue to receive the necessary recognition at the global level, but this is to be translated into implementation and action at national and community levels.
She said although the Ministry of Health has been playing its part, there still are national and community level barriers to a whole of society approach to providing proper healthcare services. The meeting was held under the theme Strengthening Health Systems, Supporting NCD Action. GIS will bring you more from this meeting in Wednesday's newscast. All systems were a-go on Monday when the long-anticipated Lime Creole in the Park, or CITP, event kicked off the roster of local artists scheduled to perform this week. The 4-day event, which is ongoing in the Botanic Gardens in Roseau, is a colorful presentation of Creole music, food, and locally made products and services. Day 1 of the 20th annual Lime Creole in the Park saw performances by Chubby and the Midnight Groovers, the First Serenade Band, Ophelia Marie, King Dice, Colton T, and many more. First to hit the stage for Day 1 was the new and upcoming group Signal Band. The act was followed by a performance from the legendary First Serenade Band.
Ram, here we go. Little one trumpet. Yeah. Never seen that yet. Yeah. Body something when people jamming. Jamming. Little one trumpet. Yeah. Never seen that yet. Yeah. Body something when people jamming. Jamming. Water. Water. Water.
GIS News caught up with a young and rising artist, Colton T, who shared his experience of performing for another year at the Creole in the Park event.
For me, it's just been growth. It doesn't matter at what time they put me, my fans always show up to support. Yeah, so it's just been about growth and getting a bigger audience. Yeah.
Among the highlights were performances from the Point Michelle Cultural Group, Christic Crew, and T-Bois Drumming. We took a minute to chat with the leader of the Point Michelle Cultural Group, Joan Frampton, after a well-received cultural performance.
How are you enjoying the independence season?
Well, I'm always enjoying, that's my time. I'm always enjoying the independence, always. Because from the time I hear the music, I'm up in the air. I don't sit. I have to dance. I have to move because that's my time. I love it.
And what has been your most enjoyable event so far, or what are you looking forward to seeing this independence?
Well, I want, you know, a lot of I want to see colors, everybody dressed in their national wear. That is ours. We have to hold it. And then I want to hear more of our local music, our jingping, our bele, our quadrille songs. All the songs to be played. That's what I want to see, and I want people to eat the Creole food, dress Creole and be like a Dominican.
Okay, have you had anything Creole to eat in the park so far?
Yes, I had a callaloo.
Callaloo, and how was that callaloo, Joan?
It was great. It was great.
What's it like performing on that stage?
Well, we are accustomed to performing on that stage. We have been performing on it only 1 year among the years that you know, they rarely had Creole in the Park, and that's only 1 year we did not perform. But all the other years, we have been performing every year for them. So it's, you know, it's great. You know, it has a great feeling, you know, to be there.
Okay, and I noticed that you guys are the only cultural group on the lineup for today. So what were preparations like?
Well, from the time we got to know, we were preparing for Creole in the Park and World Creole Festival. We did perform there, and we also have other performances, but you know, we just prepare, we put ourselves together, and then we went all out for it.
The crowd was also graced with a Kadas experience featuring Joy Stout, Ophelia Marie, King Dice, and Freddie and Friends. Take a look.
La plaie when ils autres chinois pour la mer pour regarder bien chinois pour la mer garder des wagons tout le matin pas de nègre dormi au lever nous ca on y parle pour regarder bien.
Dominica's very own Lady of Song has performed numerous times at CITP since its conception in 2002. In response to the question of her most memorable moments in her years of performing at the CITP, this is what she had to say.
I remember I performed in the afternoon. I had on white again with a madras headpiece. And there were lots of little children who came onto the stage and sang with me. And that was one of the best moments I have had.
The Midnight Groovers Band closed the curtains on night one with a powerhouse performance of Kadas music.
Dominica, are you there? I want to get your part in the place. Yeah, man. I teach you. Kadas.
In an exclusive interview with the GIS, lead vocalist Chubby, as he is affectionately known, left some sound advice for young aspiring artists.
I would encourage them to, like, if they go into music, go to music with a clean heart, you know, rebuke slackness words and fear God. Because once we fear in God, we will not involve in I want to say, nastiness like slackness and those kind of vibes.
Those were the highlights of day 1. Look out for more footage from CITP 2014 in tomorrow's newscast. And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moins, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, gouvernement Dominique officiellement tient une cérémonie pour renommer base avion Melville Hall après ancien premier ministre Rosie Douglas et puis Pierre Charles. Plusieurs mille Dominicains attendaient la cérémonie qui prend place à l'occasion aéroport Melville Hall hier. Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt en parole et délivré dit que le gouvernement dominicain cérémonie pour recogniser la contribution Douglas et puis Charles pour le développement Dominique. Même famille Douglas et puis Charles délivré parole aussi qu'à bon compliment au gouvernement pour tenir cérémonie là en l'année famille ailleurs. Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt aussi annoncé que le gouvernement signe Memorandum of Understanding et puis une compagnie privée called People's Republic of China pour bâtir une base avion international pour Dominique. Compagnie là qui expecté pour bâtir, courir et puis mettre en main gouvernement Dominique après autant l'année bagaille ça là qui fait. À la nouvelle saison touriste officiellement ouverte aujourd'hui. Premier bateau là pour saison là, l'ancré à ce Demi Charles Boulevard, où là ces touristes là t'es bien reçu, là yo débatché. On cérémonie prend place où là officier touriste t'es là pour délivrer parole bienvenue bas ces touristes là, en parmi ministre touriste Honorable Ian Douglas, chairman police cover Dominica Authority M. Benoit Badwell et chef Discover Dominica M. Colin Piper. Chairman Police Cover Dominica Authority Dominic, c'est M. Benoit Badwell.
Premier bateau qui vient Celebrity Summit, il vient Dominique pour premier pour saison 1 qui est octobre, avril, avec nous plaisir comme que tout bagaille qui a marché, tout le monde qui parlait qu'à travailler pour 5-6 mois during summer season là. À présent, tout taxi, tout vendors, tout hair braiders, tout le monde qui est involvé dans l'industrie qui travaille à présent avec nous, essayer comme que tout le monde qui fait qu'on y paye pour bon service, laisser les gens venir ici avec ces gens qui parlent contre Dominique. Qui dit l'autre monde comme que c'est un bel pays. You enjoy quoi you avec you fait tout bon bitin Dominique avec you qui dit toi nous voulons vivre ici avec c'est ça nous voulons faire parce que nous voulons verser mon la plaît so si vous plaît you que vivre Dominique nous ça bateau ça qu'a fait 22 trip Dominique pour saison et ça bon avec nous voulons assurer concret compagnie qui mettait plus bateau Dominique.
En autre nouvelle, le travail qui continue à l'école primaire en Charlottesville. Membre parlement Honorable Ambrose George visité le projet là, check temps qui passait.
Le travail là a progressé bien dans l'esprit moi. Il a déjà fait fondation là, il a un bloc là, il a fait ces pillars là avec ces beams là. Toutes ces formes là déjà faites avec vider concrète là pour faire ce travail ça. L'autre bloc là, il y a tout scaffolding déjà en place pour faire mettre ces formes là. So, quand il fini première fondation avec travail là sur phase premier sectionnaire, il peut aller à ce deuxième sectionnaire pour continuer le travail là pour l'école neuf là. Yo dit nous là nous parler avec yo là nous visiter là yo le fini travail là mois juin l'année 2015. So il y a some qui dit c'est quand septembre vini l'année prochaine. Ces enfants de Charlottesville avec catchment area qui ont l'école 9 pour attendre.
Et puis finalement, le gouvernement Dominica tient forum Diaspora mercredi, ça c'est demain, le 29 octobre, en l'occasion State House en Ozo. Forum ça qui tient tous les années, saison indépendante, kaba moun qui a visité opportunité pour dialoguer et puis même cabinet, ou là, yo ka taper report projet gouvernement, ou c'est pour une discussion bagay l'intérêt pour pays là, et puis bagay qui concerne moun diaspora. Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt et ministre Employment Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre qui a adressé forum là. Gouvernement en tant que passé chaîne forum qui concerne investissement et puis entreprise, bagay qui encourage Dominique pour investir dans le pays là. Travail NGO, ça c'est bagay qui part en avec gouvernement pour développement social, santé, éducation, aussi qui tape opportunité. Le gouvernement Dominique a invité tout Dominicans qui a visité pour attendre un forum là. Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour Nouvelles en Créole pour à présent. Non, moi, c'est McPherson Luce. Qu'à souhaiter tout le monde en bonne saison indépendant. Au revoir.
Coming up next, how to get your clothes to remain in perfect condition after this festive season.
DOWASCO recognizes that clean water is vital to healthy living. Therefore, it spares no effort in providing a clean, safe, and reliable system. Help keep our rivers safe and clean. Do not cut trees along the river banks and do not pollute with garbage, human or animal feces, and chemicals. Think water, think life.
It's Independence season, a season full of festivities, a season which we all love to dress up for and look our best. It's also still the rainy season, and the month of October normally sees a lot of bad weather, which may mean a lot of mud and mud stains. Have no fear, here's how you can get your outfits back into store shelf shape if they have gotten damaged from the weather. Before you do anything, check the garment care tags. Let the mud stain dry, then remove as much dry mud from the surface as possible. You must then saturate the stained fabric with liquid detergent and rub. Use a wet toothbrush to work at the stain and then wash the garment on a normal machine wash cycle, but do not tumble dry. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. On behalf of the GIS News production team, I'm Colette Ambo. Thanks for watching.